Hello gang, it's Hammock Day again. Today we're going to be doing the Etrol Professional Outdoors brand ultralight hammock. They call it Featherlight. If you're looking for a hammock that is incredibly light and packs down incredibly small, this is what you want to look at. Anybody who's backpacking, anybody who's hiking, they know what weight is and you know that you want to keep it down. This might do the trick for you. If you're somebody else who thinks you need a very lightweight hammock, such as something you can stick in the glove box of your car or truck and keep it in there, or carry it in your pocket when you're running around in the park or whatever, stick around. Again, you might like this too. And if you don't want this type of hammock or don't think you do, stick around anyways. Let's see what I've got to show you. You might find that this is an interesting thing for you to buy. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be doing Etrol's ultralight hammock. It is a new product that just came out with recently. They call it the Featherlight hammock, and they consider it a pocket hammock, and that's the category that they're stating it in. It is designed to be very small, packed down very small, stick it in your pocket, and I will show you a little later on this video that yes, you can do that. Okay. As it comes with the straps. It comes with the carabiners, and it includes the hammock all in its attached stuff stack. Something the competition, which these people were going after, do not do. They give you the hammock, and that's it. And a lot more money, too. You want to buy the straps for it? You're going to spend as much for the suspension on the two major competitors as you're going to pay for this entire unit. So, if you're considering buying one of the others, buy this first, get the suspension, which is just as good as what they're offering. And if you like this, stop right there. If you find that the hammock is not your liking, then pick the others up. You'll still have the hammock and the other hammocks for the same price, with the suspension for the same price. So do yourself a favor, go here first. One of the things they wanted to do when they were coming out with this was to make it as light as they possibly could so that it would match and compete with anybody else in the market. But they also wanted to make sure that it had high quality. And everything that these guys have made, and I've got a line of hammocks down here from these people. Everything that they've made has been of the highest quality. I've been real impressed with the materials and the way they were put together. Okay, this is no different. This is just as nice as any of the others they put out. I like the hammock. I've laid in it a number of times. I've not gone camping with it because, quite frankly, I like a larger hammock. But I've used it in my yard back here on the patio a number of times in the evening and get quite comfortable in there, and I've actually dozed off and had a good couple of real nice snoozes in it. The hammock extends to 8.5 feet long when it's put up. It's 4.5 feet wide, and it's made of 20 denier nylon material. The straps are 9.5 feet long, and they have 10 daisy chain loops on one end with a single loop on the other end, which wraps around the tree. Aluminum alloy carabiners it comes with. They are wire gated carabiners. The bag itself, as it is, measures at 5 inches tall, 3.5 inches wide. The weight limit on this thing is 286 pounds. There's a fudge factor, and we all know, because just for safety's sake, they always rate these a little lower than they'll actually hold. So if you're in the 250, 270 pound range and concerned that now you might be reaching the limit, I don't think I'd be too concerned about it. You do have to watch out. Don't take my word for it, but the fact is, I'm sure that this will hold easily the 286 pounds that it calls for. And quite frankly, with the size of this thing, I don't see anybody any heavier than that wanting to get in it, because it would be just uncomfortable as all could be. Now, the two companies they're competing with, and I'm not going to say names, we all know who the two main companies are for these kind of things. One of them is selling their hammock alone at about $70, just a few pennies under $70. And it weighs about the same weight as this hammock does. It is 8.5 feet long, and it's only 4 feet wide, and it is made of 30 denier, which is a heavier material. The other company is getting about $82, $83, the cheapest I've been able to find of theirs, and that was on Amazon. And they don't have the suspension either, and the thing weighs in at 5.4 ounces, so it's just a little lighter than this. Okay, but it's also only 4 feet wide. It's 8.5 feet long, about 4 feet wide. So you get, it's a little narrower. That extra half a foot can make a big difference, because my line in this, and I do like a larger hammock, with my lying in this thing here, I'm pretty much required to use all that space. Let's take this thing down to the table over here, and we'll open it up. Show you what comes with it, what comes in here, and we're going to weigh it. And yeah, I know in the past I've said I don't have a scale because I don't play that game. You know, when they told me that this thing was going to be this light, I didn't believe them. So I went out and got a scale for it. So when this thing did arrive, I weighed it. And I'll be darned if they weren't right on. This thing, the hammock alone, 5.75 ounces. I'll show you over here at the table.
Okay, here's what we got. And set of straps rated at 500 pounds apiece. Wire gauge carabiners. These are rated at about 1,200 pounds apiece. And the hammock. Very nice material. Very, very thin. Very, very light. Let's do a little bit of weight checking on this. And we'll put our new toy into use. All right, let's put this new scale to work. Let's get the full weight on the thing with everything included in the bag. 399 grams. 14.07 ounces. Let's just do the beaners by themselves. 42 grams. 1.58 ounces. Now we're going to do the straps. 193 grams. 6.81 ounces. And now, the item that Etrol is so proud of, and they should be. This is a very light hammock and a great place to start when you want to modify and add your own lightweight items behind it as you remove some of these heavier ones. Let's get this down to grams. $163 grams, 5.75 ounces. Now that is what I call a light hammock. All right, just to show you some comparison of the old straps versus the newly redesigned straps. Both of these straps are 9.5 feet long. This one here has 16 loops and a loop at the tree. This has 10 loops and a loop up by the tree. This will hold 500 pounds. These do not have any rating on them, but I know that they will hold at least the 500, maybe a little bit more. But do you need anything more than that? Not really. The difference is in the materials here. Both of them are same width, same length, but much, much smaller in this because it is compact, tighter in here. And it feels like seatbelt material in an automobile. And this sort of does, but it's not quite. It feels kind of heavy and bulky. But I think I would be more than happy to trust these little guys. I have already a number of times using them on camping trips we've been on, and I'm quite happy with them. Just for the fun of it, let's get these things on this scale here and see how they compare weight-wise. You look at the size-wise, look at the difference in those things. All right, just for the fun of it, we're going to see what a single row of these straps going to weigh. This is the new style. We got 99 grams and 3.49 ounces. These are the old style here, and we're looking at 182 grams, 6.42 ounces.
Okay, I did call some pocket hammock, didn't I? Well, here it is. And here's the proof. Slides right on in. They're right in that way.
Well, there you have it, guys. All set up, ready to go. It's a nice looking hammock. Fairly large. I mean, it is a small hammock because it's only 8.5 feet long, but it's 4.5 feet wide and comfortable to get in. And the material is just so light feeling. I mean, if you didn't know hammocks and didn't know that these materials are capable of holding the weight that they are, you would think that you get into this thing and tear right through it. It's a very smooth, very sensuous feeling, almost kind of like satin sheets, but even smoother than that. Just amazing. Workmanship on it is exceptional too. All triple stitch here. If you can see that or not. And it's all well done. Not a lot of frayed ends. There's no frayed ends on it here. The only thing I could see on the frayed end stuff would be just along here someplace, a few places there was a, well, here's one right here. You can see this or not. Right there where my thumb is. There's a few of those, but that's not too much, and that basically tells me that thing was not heat cut, it was just cold cut. And we get a little bit of the fraying on it, but this double rolled here for the seam across here, the hem. Very nicely done here. Now, on the measurements of these things, all hammock makers seem to do their own way of doing things. If you measure it from right here to the same spot on the other end, you can be looking at 8.5 feet. Some hammock makers measure it from here. If you're measuring it from here, it's 9.5 feet. And even up more, I found, measure it the original cut blank. In other words, if you're folding this over here and hemming it in, if you measure it that way, then it's 9 feet. But in reality, it's an 8.5 foot long hammock. Width on it, 4.5 feet it says, and I believe it. Let me crawl in it, and we'll bring you right back. As you can see, it's filling out pretty good. It's a smaller hammock, and yet there's still plenty of room down here, and a little up here above me, most of it being down at the end down there. I probably could camp myself over a little bit more, but you know, this is about as comfortable as I'm going to get in this hammock. And quite frankly, it's okay. I'm fine with it. Let me get that camera. I'll bring you down inside here. Let you have a look what it's like from inside. That's all we're doing. All right, here you are. I'm in the hammock here, and it's quite comfortable. A little bit of shoulder squeeze right here, as you can see. But when you get a hammock as narrow as these are, and as short as this stuff is, you're going to get some kind of shoulder squeeze. And I found it even the best of hammocks, I get a little bit of shoulder squeeze until I put a ridgeline in it. If I put a ridgeline in this, I might be able to get rid of some of it. But then that would defeat the purpose of having the lightest hammock you could possibly get by adding weight. But it's a thought. If you get something like this and you find it, it's just a little too uncomfortable on the shoulders, then you might want to think about adding it, because comfort's an important part. A lot of room up there between my feet and that end. Fair amount of room up here. And I still have a little bit of slack on the over here. I might be able to twist a little more, but I feel fairly comfortable. This is the position I think is most comfortable for me. Get my shoulders right to the edges. All in all, not bad. It is not totally uncomfortable, and I thought it would be because I like a wider hammock. Now there are a lot of guys who are shorter than I am. I'm 5'9½", so I'm not, I'm average height, and I'm fine in this hammock. I can survive in an 8-foot hammock, or this is an 8.5, but I've survived in 8-foot hammocks that were very comfortable. But I do know guys that are 5'6" and so 5'7", and they can't live in anything shorter than a 10 or 11 footer. They've got to have a nice long hammock, and it's all personal preference. You would know whether you can handle something this small or not. But I am impressed with it, and it feels good. This thing just feels so nice, and it also feels like it's so thin it's going to break, but it doesn't. We know that these things will hold up. Anyhow, that's what it's like from inside. Let's take a quick look at the straps. Straps are straps, and there's really not much difference between these and anything else we've seen. But I thought I would include it in here. There's only 10 loops on these things, as opposed to 16, but that gives you a lighter weight. But if you find yourself between trees that are a little too short, all you have to do is just double loop it on the other end up there, and it'll move these straps up by doing like such. Weight is the issue on this, and that's why these are designed the way they are.
Well, there you have it. The Etrol Professional Outdoor brand ultralight hammock, the feather lightweight. What a hammock. It's a really nice hammock. I am not the type of person who enjoys smaller hammocks, and I'm not sure I would be camping in this myself, but I can guarantee that you guys that are out there sleeping in some of the other brands out there that I was referring to earlier, this one here is a little bit larger nose and every bit as comfortable. Weight-wise, exactly the same as one, just a tad under the other. But you know, when you're looking at the savings on it, you can get this entire hammock, and I'm not trying to do this as a sales pitch, guys. I'm just trying to show you that you can get this entire hammock, straps, everything, for the price of just the straps alone on the other hammocks, which don't come with the hammocks. You have to buy them separately. So do yourself a favor. Pick one of these things up first, or if you know anybody who's got one, ask them about it. Try it out. Get in it. You know, I mean, it's amazing. I'm surprised at how good this hammock came out. We've been talking to these people for a long time on it, and I never expected it to be this nice, and it is. It's every bit as nice as they said. Now, I have a hammock stand that needs small hammocks on it, you know, 8 or 9 foot hammock, and I'm going to try this on that because it'll fit on there very nicely. The hammock I got under right now is comfortable and nice, but it's just a tad long. This one here might just get in there and be perfect. So if you've got one of those stands that only allow for an 8.5 foot or 9 foot hammock, this is a good way to go and rather inexpensive. So give it a try. And until the next time, which we will be doing probably this baby here, one that I've been calling Raven. We'll go to that hammock. We'll give that a try. But until then, take care. See you later.